and welcome to SPC's Living Well. My name is Jerry Cade. I'm a counselor at the SPC Downtown Center and your host for today's show. We're coming to you live from the SPC TV studio at the Seminole Campus. The goal of SPC's Living Well show is to promote wellness for all SPC employees. We need your participation in today's show. You will notice a section on your computer screen where you can submit questions for our guest, or you can chat with each other about our topic. Please participate throughout the broadcast, and we'll do our best to get to your questions later on in the show. Our topic today is You Are What You Eat. Christie Achenbach, a registered dietitian, is my guest, and she's here to talk about healthy eating. Christie will discuss some guidelines for basic nutrition, healthy eating, and what works and what doesn't work when it comes to diets. Also later on, we'll be checking in with Wellness Coordinator Steve Nalla, who will share the nutritional benefits of smoothies. It's going to be a great show, so sit back and enjoy all the wellness excitement at SPC. Welcome to our show, Christie.
Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here. Let's start with some basic good nutrition. There's never been a time when there was such an emphasis on staying fit and diets and staying healthy. What are the basics of good nutrition?
Yeah. The easiest thing I think would be just to go to the new food guide pyramid. Have you seen it?
Yes, the plate.
Yep, it's called My Plate now. Yes. And what that does, it just gives an easy way to eat the 5 food groups in one meal, just for a variety. So you're trying to focus on getting whole grains, fruit, vegetables, low-fat dairy products, and then of course your lean meats too, just for a balanced diet.
And there's only 5 groups, so it's easy to keep track of, I think. You mentioned a healthy diet. Exactly what does a healthy diet look like? Probably everyone has different ideas about that.
Yeah. Again, what you want to do, you want to emphasize the more nutrient-dense foods, like your fruit and vegetables, your whole grains, your lean meats, and then you want to have some low-fat dairy products too for calcium. Yeah. And you want to include some protein because you want a balanced diet. So you want to have the lean meats, and if you're a vegetarian, you can add some beans and nuts to it also. And then you want to limit the saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol, and then your sodium and sugar too, just for a healthy diet.
Sounds like great tips. Let's discuss diet myths. We've heard about a lot of them. Probably Atkins diet, South Beach would be some examples. Yeah. The list goes on though. Yeah. What are some of the problems with those kinds of diets?
Yeah, diets are just a temporary solution. Only 5% of diets actually work in the long run. And one thing about diets, a lot of times they tell people there's bad food and good food, which I guess people, when you tell them they can't eat certain foods, that's what they want to eat.
Sure.
So in the beginning, it's easy to kind of not eat those bad foods, but eventually they're going to binge eat, and then they feel bad about themselves, and they get off the diet, and they start gaining the weight back, and it's just a vicious cycle of lowering your self-esteem, basically.
Yeah. So short term it works, but long term it actually hurts somebody. Yeah. So it sounds like what you're talking about is lifestyle change would be a better way to say it than a diet.
Yeah, again, I'm a strong believer in moderation is key. You can eat what you want in moderation, but of course you want the more nutrient-dense foods like the fruit and vegetables, and the least amount of calorie-dense foods like the donuts and the croissants and things like that. In a variety, again, you want to have the 5 food groups in your daily eating plan too. And again, you want to limit the saturated fat and trans fat, which could increase your risk for like hypertension and chronic hyperlipidemia and things like that too. And each meal, I would also suggest having a protein and a carbohydrate, just to again have a balanced diet.
And you can see Christie's website address on the bottom of your screen. You can see Christie has a lot of great ideas, so you might want to check that out a little bit later. There's a phrase called weight loss plateau that I hear occasionally. What does that mean, and how does someone get past that?
Yeah. If you're trying to lose weight, everyone hits the weight loss plateau where they just cannot budge and lose any more weight. What I would always suggest, either start recording what you're eating, because maybe your portion sizes have increased, or maybe you've decreased your exercise activity level. You could also try to cut back on your calories, but I would never recommend going below 1,200 calories. And then, or if you didn't want to cut back your calories, you can increase your activity level, either do a higher intensity, add strength training to your workout, or maybe add like everyday physical activity, like taking the escalator, stairs, I'm sorry, stairs instead of the elevator, getting up and going to talk to your coworker versus calling them on the phone. Just little things make a difference.
A lot of it then is changing the routine. If we get into a routine where we're doing the same thing all the time, we're more likely to plateau.
Correct.
So changing up that routine is a good way to look at it.
It keeps your body guessing.
Yes, all right. We have questions coming in from our audience, so let's take a look at these. This is a good one. Tony from Allstate asks, why would it be good to spend more on organic foods?
That is a good question. Organic foods, some people get kind of worried about it because it costs almost twice as much. It's just because it's more labor intense to produce, I guess, organic food. But if you eat organic, you're not going to get the pesticides and the hormones and the antibiotics that you would get inside the food that's conventionally produced. There's something called the Dirty Dozen list, and people can search it on the internet, and it's the top 12 produce that you should maybe buy with organic because it has more pesticides. And apples, everyone eats apples, and that's the #1 pesticide infested basically produce too.
On the graphic it had mentioned the additives, and I'm wondering, does it affect children to have these additives and hormones in the food?
Oh yeah, definitely, because children are drinking milk, we all know that, and it has hormones and antibiotics, and we don't know what that's doing to their bodies. So that would be even a better suggestion for kids when they're developing their brain and their body to maybe even eat organic.
Yes, all right. So we have questions coming in from our audience. Someone from the Human Resources Department at the Epicenter wants to know, what are some good carbohydrates? Because usually they're seen as a bad thing.
Right, definitely. They're called complex carbohydrates, and they have more vitamins and minerals. For instance, you're going to get the carbs from your fruit, and low-fat dairy products is another source of a carbohydrate. And then you want whole grain, like pastas and breads. Now, even if the bread is brown, it doesn't mean it's whole grain.
Yeah, a lot of people think brown bread means whole grain.
Exactly.
But
you have to make sure the first ingredient says whole wheat or whole grain. Then you know you have the good stuff.
Yeah, all right. And so carbohydrates, again, back to the plate, it's part of what a good diet would be. It's not something to cut out of our food.
Yeah, it should be the foundation of every meal is the carbohydrates.
Very good. We were talking about diets earlier, and someone asked about Weight Watchers. Is that a good diet?
I definitely, Weight Watchers to me is great. Yeah.
And likely because it's a balanced approach.
Yeah, and they don't cut out a food group like some of them do. They say everything in moderation, basically.
Yeah. When someone is on a high protein, low carb diet, they do lose weight. How do you explain that? Because it works.
It does, and it's more of a temporary solution because, for one thing, if you stop eating carbs, you're cutting out half of, or all of the whole food category. You're cutting out all the carbs. So of course you're going to decrease your calorie intake, and it's basically calories in, calories out. So if you're cutting back your carbs, you're going to decrease your calories and lose weight. And also, when you eat carbohydrates, it stores water in your body. So if you cut out the carbs, you're going to decrease the water in your body too. And if you lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week, it's guaranteed to be more than just fat. It's going to be water retention or even muscle. You don't want to lose muscle because it decreases your metabolism.
I suspect there's a lot of people in the audience that are happy to hear good news about carbohydrates.
Yeah.
It's more portion control than cutting it out completely.
And again, you want more of the nutrient-dense ones too.
Yes, all right. Is there more to weight loss or weight control than just the numbers on a scale?
Oh yeah. If someone was focusing just on the number on the scale, they're going to get frustrated because if you start exercising, muscle weighs 5 times more in fat, so of course you're not going to see the numbers go down as much. But if you're starting to lose weight and exercise, you're guaranteed to have more improve your health risk, like decreased risk of hypertension, high cholesterol, and even diabetes too, which that to me is a lot more important than if the scale numbers go down.
Right. A lot of people just focus on a number, maybe in an obsessive way, and then that deteriorates the momentum that they might have or the sense of making progress.
Yeah, and they feel bad about themselves if they don't accomplish that goal of weight loss. But if they can, I guess, do physical activity easier or just feel good about themselves and eating healthier, to me that's more a reward than seeing the numbers go down on the scale.
Very good. Question about diet sodas. Are they bad for you? I think I know what you're going to say. In moderation, probably not. But what do you think about diet sodas as part of our nutrition?
Well, I guess one time when my battery died on my car, they told me to go get a Coke out of the grocery store, and when you can dump even a Diet Coke and it takes away all the corrosion on a battery, I'm like, what is it doing in your body?
Good point.
Right? And then the carbonation also could take away the calcium from your bones. So again, everything in moderation, but water would be better.
Water, okay, Well, there are people that drink a whole, 6 or 8 a day, so that can't be good given
Correct,
what you're talking about. A lot of other, I'll have to admit, I like a cup of coffee in the morning, and some people have coffee or soda and they're out the door. That can't be very nutritious. What do you think about that?
We're going back to the balanced diet. We have to make sure we eat, a breakfast is the most important meal per day, and you're going to want to try to get, again, some more of that, the whole grain, maybe a carb, or fruit and vegetables in your omelet, some low-fat dairy, and then some lean meat too, just to make a balanced breakfast versus just the coffee.
Right. The coffee's okay, but add some other things.
Exactly.
There we go. Well, Wellness Coordinator Steve Mallow was recently out and about conducting a series of lunch and learns. Let's check in now with Steve and see what's blending.
Hello everybody, my name is Steve Mallow. I'm the Wellness Coordinator for St. Petersburg College. I got a question. What is tasty, nutrient-dense, healthy, and quick and easy to make? Smoothies. So what is a smoothie, you ask? It's a blended, chilled, sweetened beverage made from fruit or veggies. You may be familiar with the tropical smoothie or Smoothie King in your area and what they offer, but many times those ingredients aren't very healthy. So today we're going to make one of my favorite smoothie recipes. It's called a Mala Macho Smoothie. Start off with 1 cup of ice. You always want to pour the ice in first with the liquids because it'll help blend the smoothie a little bit easier for yourself. You add a 1/2 cup of milk, and I use skim milk just to take the extra fat out of it. You use a 1/2 cup of orange juice because it's loaded with vitamin C and it sweetens the drink up. You also add some of my favorite fruits such as cantaloupe, 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of pineapple, and my favorite 1/4 cup of strawberries. Also with this smoothie is a healthy banana, which is also loaded with potassium, and it gives the smoothie a lot of texture. And you use 1 full scoop of protein. I use the muscle milk protein. It contains whey, casein, and soy, and it's an excellent tasting protein powder. And with all those ingredients, you just add it to it, and you blend. So exactly what are the benefits of a drink like this? Well, it's a great alternative to coffee or Coke to start your day. That will just dehydrate you. A smoothie is an excellent hydration and on-the-go snack. At a recent Lunch and Learn, we asked a few SPC employees what they think about smoothies. So tell me, what is in your smoothie? What are you cutting right now? Watch your hands in.
I'm cutting a mango. It's a champagne mango.
Blueberries, strawberries, a little bit of everything.
A lot of ice. There's also the liquid multivitamin that's in there as well.
That looks so good right now. Will you save me some?
Got it.
We have some protein powder, some orange juice, we have some strawberries, And what else can we put in there? Bananas.
I make these at home every day. I also make them downstairs in the lunchroom every day, and I've shared them with some of the staff.
So you're like the smoothie king at SPC. Is that how it is?
Not SPC, just Epi.
Tell me, how does this taste, Jim?
It's excellent. Outstanding. Berry strawberry.
Berry strawberry?
Yeah. Banana.
Did you put a certain twist on it, make it your own?
You have to talk to this guy right here. He's
Why?
twist on it.
And he's running away from us. Why is he running? You should be proud of that smoothie. Instead of coffee and soda, what would you rather have in the morning?
Instead of coffee and soda, I'd much rather have a great, nutritious smoothie.
For a healthy, tasty, quick and easy snack, what could be better? I'm Steve Malla for SPC's Living Well. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Steve, for sharing your matcha recipe with us. If you'd like to take another look at Steve's smoothie demonstration, we invite you to visit the Wellness website. That video and this episode of SPC's Living Well will be available, as well as many other resources you can enjoy. Let's get back to some more questions coming in. This one is from Carol at the Epicenter.
Okay.
How can I maintain my diet when I go out to eat?
That's a good question because everyone likes to go out to eat
Yes,
with their busy lifestyle. The first thing I would do is don't be afraid to ask for special orders. Ask the waiter how food is cooked, because I always recommend make sure you don't get it cooked with butter. Don't get it with those creamy sauces. Leave off the mayonnaise. Any of the high calorie like condiments, try to get it without. That'll make a big difference too. And look for grilled and baked versus the deep fried and the breaded foods. Try to make healthier substitutions. Steamed vegetables versus those French fries.
Yes.
And you can take half home if you still want the French fries or maybe the more calorie dense foods. Eat half then and take half home for later, a different time.
Yeah, and remember that 15-minute rule about chewing slowly so that your mind catches up to where you are, and then take the rest home.
Yep. Eat slowly, don't stuff yourself.
Yeah. All right. This comes in from someone at Tarpon Springs. I'm a big snacker at work. What kinds of food can I keep ready to avoid the vending machines?
That's a good question. You should always have like healthy snacks on hand so you're not running to those vending machines or going through the drive-through. Yeah. I would suggest maybe some healthy like almonds or walnuts. You can bring like whole grain crackers. Of course, fruit and vegetables. You can cut them up and bring them into work. And if you had like a cooler that you could bring with you, you could bring yogurt, cottage cheese, low-fat like string cheese, and just have snacks there with you. And
on the graphic it says energy bars too. What do you think of those overall?
That would be great. Energy bars, I eat them. They're easy. You can carry them in your purse or your duffel bag, or even like a little meal replacement drink too.
Speaking of energy, how about energy drinks like Gatorade or some of the other energy drinks?
Was that one of the questions, like about the energy drinks?
Yeah.
Well, energy drinks like Gatorade, more like the sports drinks, they're fine if you're working out for over an hour and you're really sweating, or if you have like a labor-intense job like mowing the lawns, then you want to replace your electrolytes that you've lost. So Gatorade is great because it has the sodium and potassium to help replenish your electrolytes, and it has fluid to help rehydrate you too. And if you're working out, it also has the carbohydrates, which is your energy source to work out longer. So if you're working out, exercising for over about 60 minutes, or if you're a heavy sweater, then you can include the Gatorade or the Powerade. But you want to also make sure, because it's extra calories, so if you don't want to gain weight, you have to make sure you stay within your calorie limits still.
So just because it says energy drink or a Gatorade type of drink doesn't mean it's necessarily good to drink it as a drink, unless there's some reason to rebuild those
But now they have the lower calorie ones too, like the Powerade, the zero, no calories, but it has the electrolytes in it. So that would be an option too if you want more than just water to drink.
All right. We have another question from an anonymous viewer. This one says, what are the benefits of juicing? I'm not sure what that even refers to.
I'm guessing they're talking about when they're putting the fruit and vegetables in the juicer, perhaps?
Well,
Yeah.
Try that.
Well, now I could talk about the difference between drinking juice versus eating the whole fruit and vegetables maybe.
Yeah.
Now, if you drink juice, let's say the Tropicana or anything like that, it doesn't have fiber in it like you would get in the real orange juice, the real orange, I guess, or the apple. So you don't get the fiber. You do get the vitamin C and potassium inside the juice, but you don't get the fiber and all the other nutrients from the whole fruit and vegetables. But I know when people, I guess, make their own juice, they might put the outside of the apple inside, and that would be okay, but you still have to count that within your calorie limits too. Just because it's juice doesn't mean you can't gain weight from it.
Right, it's because still the sugar's still in there from
Yeah.
the juice. So to eat a whole apple is probably healthier than making apple juice.
Right, because you get the fiber in the outside and all the more nutrients in it too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is it better to eat 3 full meals? That's the traditional way that we've had diet. Or is it better to eat small amounts throughout the day?
Yeah. I always tell everyone that comes to me, you want to eat the small, frequent meals throughout the day. Try to eat every 3 to 4 hours. You want a protein and a carb at each of the small, frequent meals. And you want to eat breakfast within an hour of waking. And then every 3 to 4 hours, eat another protein and a carb, just to keep your energy and your blood sugar level maintained throughout the day.
Yeah, okay.
And it speeds up your metabolism too.
Yeah.
Because you're feeding the furnace to keep it burning.
All right, very good. Good answers to these good questions. What would you tell someone who's just looking to eat healthier? I think we've kind of been talking about that, but not necessarily change their whole diet. What are some easy tips that people could do? Yeah,
I think too, like we were talking about before, forget the clean plate rule. Like back when you're younger, you can't leave the table until you clean the plate. Try to throw that out the door. You want to stop eating before you get stuffed, and just stop eating when you're comfortable, not when you're stuffed. Again, it takes your brain about 15 to 20 minutes to realize that you're stuffed, to stop you from eating. So just eat slow, a little bit slower, slow it down. And then you want to pack your healthy snacks so you always have something with you, so you're not running to the vending machine or going to the drive-thru. And again, eat breakfast every day and try to eat the small, frequent meals throughout the day.
All right. Steve from Seminole wants to know, should I eat before or after I go to the gym?
That's a good question. Depending on his goals for his workout, I would recommend, just maybe for the average exerciser, to eat definitely 1 to 4 hours before you go to work out, because what you eat is the energy to work out better. You never want to work out in the morning on an empty stomach, because you have depleted your energy stores throughout the night, so your workout won't be as intense, I guess. Your blood sugar will drop, you won't be able to perform as well. So you want to eat, again, 1 to 4 hours, something like some carbohydrates before you work out. And then afterwards, especially if you're doing double workouts, like twice a day workouts, or you worked out pretty hard, you want to eat within 30 to 45 minutes, and you want some carbohydrates and protein just to help replenish what you've just lost for energy and to repair the muscles that you might have damaged while working out.
Okay. All right. Good question. Good answer. Dan from downtown, is salt bad, and are there alternatives to using salt?
Okay. Well, eating too much salt in the typical American diet, we have too much salt. It will increase your blood pressure, which can lead to a stroke or any other bad side effects too. Now, for an alternative, well, first you want to limit your salt intake to less than 2,300 milligrams per day for the average American. But if you have some health problems already, you want to decrease it to 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day or lower, which 2,300 milligrams, just so you can kind of visualize, is a teaspoon of salt. Okay. But you have to read the food labels too to make sure you're below that 2,300 milligrams.
Yeah, because there's a lot of salt in processed foods that people don't recognize.
When you read the food labels, here's a good tip. You want to make sure that little percentage, if it's above 20% of your sodium, then it's too high for that one food. You might want to put it back and get a less food with low sodium. You can try Mrs. Dash. That's a good salt substitute, or there's salt alternatives like cooking with herbs and spices people can do. You just kind of have to be experimental.
Yeah, and you have to pay attention. I think that's a part of the message
definitely
here.
You have to pay attention.
This is a good question for at our house, we don't usually eat till 7:30 sometimes, or even 8. Yeah. How late is too late to eat dinner, and why?
I personally believe if you're still within your calorie limits for the day, you can eat whenever you want, because that question doesn't work for people that work nighttime shifts.
Right.
Because how are they gonna? They have to eat. So again, if you're within your calorie limits, you should be okay.
Good. I don't have to feel so guilty.
No, you're
about
okay.
it. So, very good. Well, it looks like we're out of time for today. Thanks so much for coming in and
thank
sharing
you.
your wisdom with us. And it seems like it's just a simple thing, really. Subtle changes and paying attention, as we were mentioning,
Yeah.
is the key to all this.
Baby steps at a time, so you
Yeah.
can do it for a lifetime.
Yeah, all right. Thanks again, Christy. And we want to thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to tune in. I hope you enjoyed our show and learned a few things that will help you be well. Help us get the word out about SPC's wellness initiatives. Please share today's show with your coworkers, friends, or family. You can watch it on-demand version of the show and Steve's smoothie demonstration on SPC's wellness website. While you're there, check out the other great resources to aid you in leading a healthy lifestyle. On behalf of the SPC Wellness Program and the Marketing and Program Information Department, we would like to thank you for watching SPC's Living Well. I'm Jerry Cade. Have a great day. Remember, living well is a choice.